Yes, and that's where you've lost money. Yeah. So where it was, yeah, we had a double wide. We lost $30,000 on, and it was prior to 1976. It was, I think we just got it fixed. It was in a HOA. It was in a 55 plus. So every single thing that I've just hit the nail on the head with, hey, this is the cream of the crop. I went exactly away from the cream of the crop, and yeah.
And welcome back to the Money, the Mindset, and the Mentoring podcast. Today we have Danny McBrinn with us. Danny, I've known Danny since, oh my God, it's been what, 5 years, 6 years ago that we met first down in Las Vegas at that thing with the good old Weibo and McKeever.
Yep.
And yeah, man, it's been a long time, brother. How you been?
Been good, yeah, and thanks for reaching out to me, connecting back here. We met, yeah, like we were just saying, in 2018, that is. So we met at the investor event / mastermind, and I know you and I connected with our wrestling and the jiu-jitsu background, so that's how you and I kind of mesh together.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for having me on here. I'm excited to go over kind of my real estate investing journey, some of these specific topics that we're going to get into, especially around mobile homes and the stuff that we're kind of going through. So, like I said, I appreciate you having me on here, and hopefully I can drop some value and insight to your audience and all these people taking a watch here. So.
Well, I'm so excited because I spoke with another fellow on the mobile home thing, and I just started to get a really big fascination into the idea of mobile homes as an investment facility. And then lo and behold, you come up on my Instagram. Man, I haven't talked to him in a long time. And I saw what you were doing. I'm like, is this the universe telling me that we need to talk? And so then we spoke. And when I was watching your Instagram, Danny McBrinn, I saw anybody looking for him, Danny McBrinn on Instagram, very active there. And I was watching what you're doing. I'm like, dude, we got to chat because it just falls in alignment of the things that I want to talk about. And then after we did the little debrief, we were talking about a whole different way that I never even thought possible around doing with mobile homes. So let's kind of walk through that a little bit because I think it's extremely interesting.
Yeah, so the biggest, like I was explaining to you a week ago, the biggest thing that we do is that so I own a small 7-unit trailer park. However, what we specialize in is not actually trailer parks or mobile home parks. So there's a difference between the mobile homes that we do and the mobile home parks. So the properties that we are purchasing and reselling and getting great spreads on are actually owned mobiles on owned land. So it's actually a regular real estate transaction. So mobile home.
I would say it's a little bit different because and I could see the difference between the mobile home park because the mobile home park it has multiple tenants who own their trailer or rent their trailer living on somebody else's land. Where what you're saying in this one is they live on their land with their trailer. But the big difference is it's not a house, it's a trailer, but you're still treating like residential transaction. So talk to me about this.
Yes. So when the manufacturer actually goes and sends that house out to the property and links it up to utilities and everything, they have the mobile home title. And before that person goes and gets a loan on that property, you have to surrender your title from the DMV because at that point it's two separate things. You have personal property, which is the mobile, treated as a car, and the actual real estate, which is transferred through a deed and through the county. So that process is the affidavit of a fixture, which is essentially you're taking your title from the DMV and going to the county and you are affixing it to the land. So now I'm taking my mobile home and my land and I'm putting it all into one piece of real estate essentially. So when I go and get conventional lending, my lender is secured because I'm not just going to call a semi truck one day and tow it out of there, and my lender's now has money secured against just a piece of land. So what that process does is that it it conjoins and it affixes everything to one. And now your lender can properly give you the right lending to do the deal.
So what type of, when we talk about the mobile home or the modular home or whatever, are we talking modular homes, or are we talking like the ones that have the wheels on the bottom?
So the wheels are on the bottom prior. So as they're coming, they are towing it on like a semi-truck, and whether that's a single-wide mobile home or a double-wide mobile home, the difference is pretty much the square footage. And the single-wide comes on one semi-truck. It's one title, one piece of property. The double-wide, you're going to have two titles and then two pieces of that mobile home, because otherwise it's too big to transport on one truck. So they will come and conjoin it. It'll come like two pieces, and they'll tie it like that pretty much.
They stitch it together, yeah.
Pretty much.
And once it's stitched together, is there an advantage? I mean, obviously size, but from a lender standpoint, it's going to be a lot harder to. If it does have wheels, somebody could conceivably still hook up and tow it away, could they not?
Well, you'd want they ask for additional information, which is actually an affidavit of a fixture is the most important, and then some lenders will request what's called tie downs, and then through the tie downs you get an engineer certification. So that engineer essentially goes under the mobile home because it's slightly sitting on top of the land. So that lender will put additional tie downs essentially on the. If you look under the mobile home, there's going to be these big ass jacks like that. So the engineer certification will further tie it down and get it more affixed to the permanent foundation. So the three biggest things that you need prior to going into each deal is your affidavit of a fixture, and if you're selling it to a FHA buyer, then they're going to ask for what's called tie downs, and that's going to be done through a licensed engineer.
Makes so much sense, because then it's not like somebody bobbing a truck can come up and
Right.
cut the services and we're out.
Yep.
And you can't do that with a house on a foundation. So that in essence is really creates a foundation for something that was once movable.
Right. But with affordable housing, the biggest thing is that you can, in Arizona, it's going to get 120 degrees here. So building on site in a non-climate controlled, environment, and this is up in Canada, this is back east where I live, it is hard to scale that. You can't, if you're in a large manufacturing plant, you can pump out mobile homes, like that.
Well, that's exactly what the other friend was saying, is that you can build mobile or modular homes in a factory with so much more precision, with so much more quality control, and then it just comes down to the delivery mechanism and the stitching on site, as the on-site labor. So the savings, when you're building a house, you might be building it, say, $400, $500 a square foot, but when it's a mobile home or a modular home, like we're talking, what are we talking per square foot? The cost of just the structure itself.
I don't have an exact square foot number, but it's way cheaper. I mean, you could get yourself
a ballpark.
Probably closer to 100 or something.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's you're buying a piece of land, and then you can get yourself a nice double wide, at least in Arizona, probably from depending on the year, make, and model, $70,000 to $80,000. So you buy a piece of land for $50,000, $60,000, you get yourself a brand new $80,000 double wide. That conjoined with the land, you're going to have a loan for, close to $150,000, $160,000. That's.
And what kind of locations would these be found in? Like where how far into the country do you have to kind of find this property? Where are these places?
Yeah, so they're actually in the cream of the crop. What I call them, for the ones that we actually target are, like I was stating, the mobiles that are not owned in trailer parks. So we want owned land. Mm-hmm. We want no age restrictions, so no 55 plus, no HOA, and that is what we call the cream of the crop, because you can truly do what you want. So people get the appealingness of the not HOA. I can do what I want. I can put my cars there, my workshop, my whatever. I'm not constricted by someone. And I also get the affordability, or I'd buy a house for $500,000-$600,000 where it's just not affordable. And then I can buy a double wide, which fits my kids, my trucks, my tools, all my extra things that I want, and I can still afford it. That's the biggest thing.
So you're if you're getting one that's half decent, you're saying it's 70, 100 grand. The land is costing you what? You said 50?
$50,000 to $80,000.
So under $200,000, you've got yourself a. Would that get you that double wide, or is that the single wide?
That would possibly be a double wide, but we don't. That is for new trailers. We strictly stay on the secondary market, so we are buying trailers that are already used. And our acquisition prices are anywhere for a double wide. We're purchasing anywhere from about 150 to 180,000, putting in probably about 40,000 to that, and then we're selling them for about 300,000.
Oh wow!
For the double wides that are already on there.
So double wide already there, and we said what type of location?
This is like East Mesa, other parts of Greater Phoenix area, and this is our non-HOA, non-55 plus, owned mobile on owned land. So they're ranging typically about 275 to 300,000 after repair value.
Yeah, so if you're 300,000 after repaired value, and that they're going to put, can they? And you said they could get an FHA mortgage on it. You said, or
you can get FHA, you can get VA, and you can get conventional. However, the year build has to be post 1976. So any mobile built prior to 1976 is not financeable whatsoever.
Which is, I guess my birth year is now gone then.
Yeah.
A moment of silence for those 1975 ones.
Yes.
Okay, there it's gone. And okay, that's really interesting. So at 300,000, and you said they're getting classic mortgages on it. So they're putting, how much are they typically putting down to buy something like that?
You're getting a 3 to 3.5% FHA mortgage at $300,000. That's $9,000 to $10,000. If they work with somewhat of a sophisticated agent, they'll ask the seller. They'll maybe make an offer on the purchase price and ask a $10K concessions, and the only thing you're out of pocket is maybe a couple grand of closing costs, or I'm sure some other type of fee. So I've seen these people get into some of these homes with $2,000-$3,000.
That's amazing. And it's not just homes; they're getting into actual land as well, which is freehold land, and that to me, dirt value has got so much importance when you look at real estate.
Yes.
Rather than something where you actually don't own the actual physical land.
Right.
So that's really interesting. So, and at 300,000, they're paying, like, all said and told, $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, somewhere around there in total cost of ownership.
Yep. Give or take.
In those areas, what is rent in those areas?
Rent for a double wide mobile home is probably the same. I would say $1,500 to $1,700. $1,500
to $1,700. Okay, so to make it cash flow positive, if you're going to buy that as a rental, you need to put a little bit more money down.
Yes, you got to get more cash in the deal.
More cash in the deal.
But in my experience, mobile homes as rentals do not perform that well, because they, it's like a car, so they're essentially, depreciating. The wear and tear is a lot more high. And for tenants, if you're, it's just kind of the nature, if your tenant's paying less than your tenant quality, we're talking C, D class areas for some of these mobile homes. So your tenant quality is not going to be as great as opposed to like a single family home in parts of Mesa or something like that.
Okay. So this is something where this is really best suited for somebody who's buying to occupy the property.
Yes. So your fix and flipper, I think this is one of the absolute greatest opportunities to make a buck on. If you're looking to wholesale these deals, if you're looking to flip these deals, they are the absolute greatest wholesale deals that you could find on the market.
If you're saying these are the greatest wholesale deals and these are the deals that you're doing, why would you want to market to other people to say, hey, get into this? Because it doesn't seem like, in my mind, that was there like 5 of these out there? Like how many are there?
There's plenty to go around, and I'm of the nature that there's always going to be enough deals. So at the end of the day, whoever I give value to or whoever I work with, I'm sure, the law of reciprocity says if I'm always putting stuff out there, I know in return, I'm sure that person I work with is going to send me their deal. I'm going to do business with them. I'm a private lender, so maybe they might need financing on that deal. So I'm always going to be a guy of value. So given that value, I'm sure it's somehow going to be of a return to me. There is limited supply in Arizona, but with my expertise, I know that no matter what, I'm sure I'm going to have a hand in a jar. It's just about which jar I'm going to be putting it in. So
it's the best mindset to have is the mindset of abundance.
Yes.
And it's funny. I work with a lot of Keller Williams agents for real estate, and the very first time I walked into Keller Williams' office, what really got me excited about it was the guy said, his name was Shah Hassi. I walked in and he said, hey, come look at my books. I'm like, what are you talking about? I used to work for another brand, and it was totally the opposite. And he says, this is my P&L. This is everything I do. These are all my marketing. This is my listing script. This is my buy. And I'm like, oh my God, the guy's like giving me everything. Is he crazy? And because I'd been trained in the opposite way, because in my last office, it was if you didn't guard your client, everybody's trying to
right.
to market to your client, and it was just not healthy. And so it was just such a great experience to go back into that. And that's something that in every business that I've taken forward is the idea of thinking with abundance rather than scarcity. So it's great to hear you speak that way.
Yes, 100%.
Because I do believe it all comes back around. It's one of those things. Like, look, I mean, we spoke with each other in 2018, and now we're talking now on a podcast. And that's super exciting.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Right.
Now, have you looked at other states as well as different opportunities to jump in on?
So and you're talking mobile homes specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have looked at some other states. I know Florida is a big they have a ton of mobile homes down there. I am just, with the amount of deal flow that we're doing direct to seller from other wholesalers, other people I'm working with, we have about anywhere from 20 to 30 deals we're working per month just in Arizona. So I'm right now hiring to get more people to help me manage all the deals that we have, because we don't have enough personnel at the moment for just Arizona. So getting into another state is definitely on my radar, but I'm probably a couple years out from actually making a plan to do so. But these deals are everywhere.
I was just going to say, then there's definitely enough deals to go around
Yes.
if that's the case.
I have friends in North Carolina flipping double wides, single wides. I have friends in Florida doing it, and everyone that is doing it right is going after the own land, no HOA, no age restrictions, a fixed post 1976, the good deals that you can make a nice profit on.
Did you ever jump out of that buy box and make a mistake?
Yes, and that's where you've lost money. Yeah. So where it was, we had a double wide we lost $30,000 on, and it was prior to 1976. It was, I think we just got it fixed. It was in a HOA. It was in a 55 plus. So every single thing that I've just hit the nail on the head with, hey, this is the cream of the crop, I went exactly away from the cream of the crop, and yeah, we took a little loss on that. So
now, did you have the buy box before then and violated the buy box, or is that what created the buy box?
The buy box was, a general, hey, this is generally what we should look for. But now it's, hey, here is our underwriting parameters. Does it check each box? Obviously there are exceptions to the rules, but one and far and few in between. Unless someone's practically giving it away, it's not, it's just not worth it to go outside your process and your parameter.
Yeah, I always find every time you operate outside of that normal SOP and that normal parameter, things just always go sideways.
Yes.
And then you realize, that's why I created that process.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
So you kind of adjust as you go, adjust and correct, but you live and you learn, and that's just what you got to do.
So what does the future look like? Where are you headed to? What are the big things that are going to be, 3 to 5 years down the road?
Yeah, so 3 to 5 year plan. I mean, we're getting our wholesaling business more scaled up. We've been established now for 4 years, so it's myself and my business partner, and I know for me, I'm doing outside of our business, I'm doing some private lending. So I'm lending on other people's mobile homes, single family deals, only in Arizona. So I've built myself a little parameter of things that I follow. So I'm making some extra income off that, and I would like to keep doing that and keep building that, and eventually get into actual mobile home parks and trailer parks where, instead of picking up a single family once or twice a year, I can get a multifamily deal. I can get a trailer park and pick up, 30, 40, 50 units in one deal and really, increase the value, increase the rents, and refinance at a higher amount and hold on to that, for a couple years or who knows how long. But those deals excite me. Just getting bigger deals at scale, and those are really where you can, make a million, $2 million profit on something like that. So, but the thing is, and I was just speaking with someone who is super intelligent, super seasoned in the game, and his thing was, if you compare this investing business to like a baseball game, you're wholesaling, you're fix and flipping, those are going to be your singles and doubles, and you're never going to win a ball game without getting on base for a single or double, where your home run deals is your 30-unit multifamily deal, your land development, your big trailer park that you're working on in the background, and then you're also still getting up to bat and hitting your singles and doubles, so you have that cash and that capital to fund those deals. So a lot of people I know will swing for the fences every time and want to take down a 50 unit, and they're cash strapped and have no capital to do anything, or borrowing too much, or then you're giving up all your equity in the deal to investors because you don't have any cash to manage anything.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. And it was interesting. It first started off with the bigger ones, which was the multi-unit trailer parks.
Right.
And you're 100% right that after I looked at that, and I looked at the profit model around those and what could be done in that space. I mean, we're talking 20, 30% returns on money, which is just unbelievable. And so I think it's to me, that's fantastic as an investor. But when you're looking at yours, you're also making mad cash at your perspective as well, looking at the entry level stuff as well too, right?
Yes.
But it was with things that I've never even thought possible, because you have other exits too, because if the land becomes worth so much, whoever bought it, they can exit it by just demolishing the mobile home and then building a proper house once the land has enough value that the value of the land is more than the value of the land plus the trailer.
Yes. Yeah, you could do that. So there's options. If you don't, if you rent out your mobile homes, and if you don't sell or finance your mobile homes. So what a lot of people do, which is super appealing for me, is let's say they buy a 50-unit mobile home park, and all those mobile homes are park owned. What these parks are doing is they are seller financing the mobile homes. So these homeowners, will essentially give 10 grand down for a $50K purchase price of their mobile home, and they will pay the lien holder, which is the trailer park owner, monthly for that property, and hopefully the homeowner takes better care of it. And a lot of these parks will usually put in like a first right of refusal or something like that, so if that person goes to sell it, the park can just buy it back and then rinse and repeat the whole process.
Absolutely. Well, dude, this has been awesome, man. Going through this whole idea, it's something that I've never heard of before, and to know that, it's really great when somebody finds a niche and really capitalize on this niche. And seeing what you're doing with this, I saw the office building that you have, and that you've really, really set yourself to grow, and where you've gone from 2018 to today. Like, this is something you really doubled down on, and the results has definitely come out. So, really excited to witness your journey and then listen to it today, and to share, be witness to the things that you shared today on what can happen in that space. So thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for getting me on here and giving me that opportunity. So
Yeah, man. So, guys, if there's anything that you want to reach out to Danny about, if you're down in Arizona and looking at these things as options, if you're also looking, I guess, as for private lending, reach out to Danny McBrinn on his Instagram. He responds pretty darn quick, so that was super nice to see. And Danny, again, thanks so much for joining me. Really appreciate it, my man.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Awesome. And with that, guys, this is the Money, the Mindset, and the Mentoring podcast. We will see you on the next one.